Imagine this. It's the early hours of a quiet morning in Boston. A crime is about to go down that will become the single biggest property theft in the entire world. But we're not talking money, we're not talking jewels, we're talking about art, about history, a cultural legacy that was just shattered in 81 minutes. This is the incredible story of the Gardner Heist, the world's greatest unsolved art mystery.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? It's haunted investigators, art lovers, you name it, for over 3 decades now. I mean, there were no gunshots, no alarms blaring, no big dramatic car chase. It was just a quiet entry, a methodical robbery, and then nothing. Silence.
So, just to understand the stakes here, we have to talk value. And that $500 million number you see, that's a conservative estimate. In reality, these pieces they're priceless. They're one-of-a-kind masterpieces you can never, ever replace. So the loss is it's incalculable. You know, the craziest thing is, our story doesn't even really begin with the action. It begins with the aftermath. Because the most lasting image of this whole crime isn't the thieves, it's not a getaway car, it's the haunting, empty frames that they left behind on the museum walls. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend in Boston, March 18th, 1990. At 1:20 in the morning, two men dressed up as police officers walk up to a side door of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and they looked totally legit. Uniforms, hats, even radios, the whole bit. Can you believe it? That's all it took. The two night guards, well, they were supposed to follow protocol, but they were convinced. The uniforms looked real, the story seemed plausible, so they broke the rules. They opened the door, and they let the biggest art theft in history walk right inside. And what happened next? It wasn't some messy smash and grab. Nope. It was a calm, totally controlled 81-minute operation inside one of the world's greatest art museums. For almost an hour and a half, these guys had complete and total control of the place. So check this out. Within just a few minutes, the guards were completely neutralized, handcuffed, duct taped, and just left in the basement, totally helpless. From around 1:30 to almost 2:45 in the morning, the thieves were just strolling through the galleries like they owned the place, picking and choosing what they wanted before just vanishing back into the night. Okay, and this is where it gets really weird. See, sophisticated art thieves would handle these paintings with care. These guys, they used knives. They literally just hacked these priceless masterpieces right out of their frames. And that one brutal detail, it suggests they were way more skilled at breaking and entering than they were at handling fine art. To them, this wasn't culture, it was just a product to be ripped off the wall. But it's not that simple. Because the crime itself left behind this trail of bizarre, contradictory clues. Puzzles that have made this case almost impossible to solve. Okay, first up, their choices were baffling. They stole a Vermeer, but they left behind a Titian that was worth way more. They took a decorative eagle top from a Napoleonic flag, but ignored other priceless stuff. Second, as we just saw, that brutal method of cutting the canvases. But then there's the third puzzle. They seemed to know exactly how to avoid the alarms and where all the security weak spots were. So were they clumsy amateurs or total pros? The evidence points in both directions at once. And that, of course, leads us to the biggest question of all. Who were these guys? This mystery has led to so many theories over the years. Was it the mob? Some secret collector? An inside job? I mean, the investigation has looked into everything. So the main theories really boil down to a few possibilities. One is that it was a local Boston crime outfit. Guys who were good at breaking in, but had no idea what they were actually stealing. Another is a theft order job for some mysterious eccentric billionaire. And of course, there's always the theory of an inside job. For years, tips kept coming in that the art was bouncing around New England, but every single lead just went cold. And get this might be the most maddening part of the entire story. A few years ago, the FBI actually came out and said they're confident they know who the thieves were. But here's the catch. Both men are dead now. And if the FBI releases their names without getting the art back, it could drive the paintings even deeper underground, maybe forever. So they know who, but they still don't know where. So this theft, it didn't just create a criminal case file. It created a wound in our shared cultural history. And the way the Gardner Museum has decided to deal with this loss, it's really unique, and it's incredibly powerful. I mean, the sheer scale of what was lost, it's just staggering. One of only about 34 known Vermeer paintings in the entire world, gone. priceless works by Rembrandt, Manet, Degas, all vanished. Any one of these would be a monumental loss on its own.
And if you really want to feel the weight of this, just think about this one piece. This wasn't just a Rembrandt. It was his only seascape. A dramatic, turbulent, absolutely unique masterpiece. There will never be another one like it.
And this is where the museum's response is just so powerful. In this act of both defiance and hope, the Gardner has left the empty frames of all 13 stolen works hanging right there on the walls. They're like these constant, silent reminders of what was lost and a public promise that their spots are being saved for them. And believe me, the search is not over. Today, there is a $10 million reward for any information that leads directly to the safe return of the art. That's one of the biggest private rewards ever offered. It's a clear message that even after all these decades, the world still wants its masterpieces back.
So after all this time, we're right back where we started. The frames are empty, the suspects are gone, the art is somewhere, and the final question is really the only one that matters. Will these cultural treasures ever see the light of day again, or are they lost to the world forever? The clock just keeps on ticking on the world's greatest art heist.